This is nothing special at all. But if you fancy driving to work and not listening to radio, or, you know, having a poo and you don't want to flick through TikTok, you can turn this on and we're just going to have a chat about our past week and surfing in general, whether it's board deliveries to Norway or customers complaining about colours on their boards because they're annoying. So yeah, this is the weekly board meeting. That's what we're calling it so far, but if you fancy commenting a better name, we're all ears, because we thought that was a bit like weekly board meetings, kind of like...
I know, it could work.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Weekly board meeting. Because it's like we're having a board meeting, but we make surfboards. Right, we're about to start, but we don't really know how to, because we've never done this before. So I'm just going to talk about, because it was last night, WSL. Geordie has just won the event and now he is world number 1.
How many points does he have?
Whoa, he's actually like kind of up there. He's 5,000-ish clear.
And Italo second.
Italo's second with 31. Diego Dora is third with 28.8. But that's pretty cool.
And he's the oldest guy on tour, I think, this year.
And he hasn't won a world title, has he?
Never.
Because he always gets
close.
injured.
He's come close, I think.
When the WSL started making a bit more noise, he was like this kid that was like, oh my God, when he gets on tour, it's impossible for him to lose. I remember he had a massive contract with O'Neill that everyone used to talk about, and everyone thought he was always going to be a world champion. He is, to me, one of my favourite surfers to watch. And the only thing that he gets kind of shit for a little bit is backhand barrel ride, and everything else is really solid.
Oh, really? He gets shit for that?
I mean, he's obviously quite good. He's on the tour, but yeah, like if you're going to give him a...
And he's what? I think 37. He's the oldest dude still on tour.
No way. God, that makes me feel really old.
And they cut, of course. I'm not actually sure who's been axed.
Matthew McGiveray, Liam McBride, Jackson Bunch, George Pitar. Yeah.
He's done good as well in a few events.
He's quite young though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ian Gavere, Sammy Pupo, I can't say his name, Kalani DeVault, David Silva, Ian Gentile, Ramsey Bukaim, Edgar Grodja, Ryan Callanan, and Gabby.
But Gabby will get a wild card.
You'd like to think so. I don't like watching Margaret River.
Really?
Yeah.
They ran like 3 heats at the box and then changed it back. I love the box. The box is sick.
What makes me laugh about WSL is they're obviously not gaining viewership, even though they are making it a lot more accessible. I think the format of the heats, especially somewhere like Margaret River, you were getting heats with like 3 and 4 waves.
Yeah, I mean for the finals as well. Griff had 1 wave and it was right at the start of the final and just didn't get a chance.
Yeah, and it's like, is that... Maybe Geordie would have beat him anyway. Don't we want to see somehow...
But how can you change that?
I think you can, but I think it's a bit like adding VAR at football. Changing it might be a good thing or might be a bad thing. I definitely think there are ways. It sounds really bad, but the sports that have nailed it are...
Don't say golf.
No, I'm talking about this as a subjective sport. Boxing and MMA. They use this point system. A knockout is the overall thing to happen. You can always fight for the knockout. They were always playing with the anticipation. And that's what those sports are about. Whereas sometimes in surfing, there is no anticipation. That's what kills it. It's a subjective, amazing sport in ocean, wildness. You just never know what's going to happen. We need to be constantly on the edge of our seats if you want us to watch it. Absolute facts, surfing is growing as a hobby, but absolute facts, the sport of surfing is dying.
Yeah.
No one's making money. No one's watching WSL.
It's true, I've stopped watching it as much. I just watch the condensed recaps in the morning now.
Exactly. The scoring's bullshit. How many times is it that Slater will get the extra half point because he's Slater?
Yeah.
We're all kind of saying in a weird way, that's fine. You can't make it unsubjective. That is Kelly Slater, that's the GOAT. But if you did a system where it's like best waves, second best wave, I feel like at least you're continuing the debate constantly.
Yeah, definitely happens in UK comps as well, where the more well-known people, they are often better, but I feel like they get scored more. Definitely. Or at least paid more attention to.
We were at the Nationals with Jackson. His mate, by the way, I really like his mate, and he's his best mate, and they surf all the time. His mate is a really good surfer, definitely the best their age. That he gets a 4.1 for 1 turn, and I know Cass's surfing really well. He can do a lot better turns than that. Good turn, but it was all the wave offered. They put a 4.1 in it. Jackson gets a wave on his backhand, 2 backhand turns. The first one was just like so nice, and then he finished the wave on the end section with a backhand turn. And I was stood next to Cass's dad, Paris, and he was like, "Oh, that's probably the best wave of the heat. We were saying, oh, is it 6, 5.5, 6.5, like 3.6. Then I'm like, all right, that's harsh. I felt like then I'm looking at it through rose-tinted glasses as a dad. I want to like fight everyone on the beach when I'm watching my kids do sport. It's terrible. I am a football dad, like deep down. I try not to be, but I am. Then he takes off on the right-hander, does a cutback. The wave fizzles out and he just jumps off the back, and they're like 2.5. You're like, what? If that's a 2.5, then his 2-turn backhander, that must be like a 7. You can't give a cutback on a fat burger that fizzles out into nothing at 2.5. The judging was a bit bad, and I've gone off on a bit of a tangent because I'm dadding out here. But we're expecting the better guy to be better, which is completely understandable, again, because it's subjective surfing and that kid has earned his spot. I don't think they're doing it maliciously. I think it's just like this easy way to give the good kid the better scores. I watched the final of the under 14 and the buzzer went, and this kid called Harvey, who in my opinion has got really good over the last couple of months.
I've surfed with him a few times.
Yeah.
Really nice kid.
He's passionate. I've seen him like lose his rag a couple of times.
Really?
I quite like that in a way. Yeah. He took it off like buzzer and he's gone bang, fins released, left them sliding, just pure control, dropped down, bottom turned, up to the top as the wave closed out, bang, let the fins go again. I was like, that's the best wave I've seen this event. They're like 4.8. I'm like, the whole heat screwed.
Yeah.
And there was scores in that final that apparently were higher than that wave. There was no surfing better. There was good surfing. Because they've put that at 4.8, suddenly all the scores are like 4, 5, 6. Like that.
In a final as well.
I know. You just see two completely seamless turns. I mean, the waves were this big. It was fucking sick.
You never know. Like, you sort of know how a turn feels, but until you see it from the beach, I think you never really know how good it was.
I do think it's backwards. I think a kid can do 6 turns on a long wave and it be far outscored by 2 turns completely seamless. Like, how many times do you go bang, bang, and then get off and go, oh, that was a shit wave? But how many times do you get like a fat burger at Fistral and surf it all the way into the beach and your legs burn and you're like, I didn't even do 1 turn?
Yeah, not 1 good turn. When I was competing, it felt like they were actually starting to reward even just 1 turners compared to 3 cutbacks.
I think it is better.
I think it's definitely getting better, and especially in the UK.
It is definitely getting better, but you start seeing the rawness still in the younger ages.
Yeah.
I saw a girl and she rightly won by quite a lot in the under 14s. Ellie Hickey completely dominated, and I feel like they almost should have made way more of a point of it. Like, either put her scores even higher than you did or put everyone else's scores lower. And they were. She was still very well separated because she literally completely mauled the heat. I'm still going, you have to slide that right up. No, it was interesting. Shout out to J-Man for making the finals anyway.
Yeah, sick. I think we had a good weekend in terms of people on 4ths, didn't we? Wasn't there the Welsh Nationals as well?
Yes, we should do some shout outs.
Yeah.
So Jackson got 4th in the Nationals in England. Summer Moore won under 14s girls in Wales. And Josie Hawke won the under 16s girls in Wales. And then Koa Egan won the under 14s boys in Ireland. And that kid, you should see how powerful he is. Just turned 13. He's 5'8" or 9. He's 65 kg. Really lovely kid as well. He does those kind of turns.
I think I saw some of his videos actually. On Instagram.
He's so good. I basically did him a man's board. I'm watching him surf like that. I can't be putting him on these kiddie. You set up kids boards different. You set them up real loose, kind of short in the curve wherever they can be, so they're really mobile. But he apparently loves it. Took it out into the comp after like 2 surfs, won the comp, and then it's gone Maldives and is loving it at Maldives. Now I've spoke about Koa, I've got to speak about Josie Hawke as well, because she is 14 and the Welsh scene
it's blowing up.
Yeah, they probably haven't got the depth of England. Let me just go through their top surfers. Pat is the only guy doing anything on the GB squad, no offence to anyone else.
Pushing for challenges 2 years in a row now.
Yeah.
I think he's been like 2 spots off.
Oh, mate, an absolute Nats cock this year, like 2 heats he's on. He absolutely fought to a bitter end, and I was like, yes, the dog in him is like, that's what I want to see the rest of the Brits do. And then you've got Alice Barton, who's incredible, like works really hard, really good surfing. She's got a good couple of results at the end of the season.
2nd, I think.
Yeah.
And a 2nd at Boardmasters.
Yeah, and then she won a couple of ones like international events but not massively high ranking ones, like not WSL ones. There's Alice. Then you've got, I'm going to be biased here because I ride my boards, but Logan is absolutely ripping at the moment and could definitely be on that GB squad. I don't know why the come on deals. Like, look at the squad a bit. No offence to anyone on it either. Like, I absolutely love Stan. Stan is, have you seen Stan? He's ripping. He's absolutely ripping. You're like, how is he not making heats? Because he's like, his free surfs, he's like, kills me why they can't put it through. But yeah, the Welsh scene is full. Like, you've got Josie, you've got got you got so many of the kids like Eli and
Elliot. Yeah.
There's loads of kids doing boards for a good few of them. We went on a Welsh trip to see two of our absolute favourite Welsh surfers, Send It Ray and Bryn Bailey, legend kids. We went on this trip and I was filming on the beach and I got Indy Jones, kid from Wales, got his first ever barrel on footage.
Fuck.
Like a sick one, like
I bet it was stoked.
pulled in, backdoored, spat out, like sickest little beachy. I was so stoked with that. That's the whole reason I film. I love filming. You just never know where something like really...
No, that's where the best of it comes from.
Yeah, because we're chatting, knowing we're chatting to a camera now.
Yeah.
You've got that in the back of your head. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like catching a moment is harder and harder these days.
And I think people are also reacting to that on social media. You see this artificial content just isn't going anywhere anymore. People look at it and know that it's an ad or know that they're getting paid and they just don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
You can't, it's like people are trying too hard. As like a viewer, you notice that and you're like, that's just a joke.
I think there's like a waking up of consciousness almost, because you adverts just don't work. Use this tissue. Nah, mate, I'm gonna like look at a tissue at the shop. If it's cheap and looks like it ain't gonna rip me in half, I'm gonna get it, you know, like job done. Like, but yeah, big up the whole Welsh crew, absolutely shredding. Are definitely the upper end with the English, and I think the only reason the English squad's just got a bit more depth is we're a bigger country with more coastline.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
More waves, I guess.
What else I wanted to talk about quickly, Joan? Your boards.
My board.
Well, you're like our sort of pro surfer analyzer of surfboards. Yeah, you've been riding mid-lengths, you've had a go on. I saw you shredding at Fistral on my board, which is pretty cool.
That was fun. I had 2 or 3 surfs on that. I think I took it on the Friday and actually left my only shortboard here in the factory. It was locked up for the weekend, so...
Forced mid-length surfing.
I was kind of forced to surf it, but really enjoyed it. Would like to get it on some bigger waves and better waves.
Kind of where they go, really.
I think especially that one was kind of high performance-y.
For me, that board is a good wave board. Like, it's a step up almost.
I mean, it was still fun in waist-high waves.
You definitely won the heat. From what I was watching, it was actually really funny watching all the other kids on their shortboards just bouncing along kind of... It wasn't them, it was the waves. You were just like, I might do a cutback. They couldn't even get enough speed to do a cutback. Do you think it helps your surfing boards like that? Do you think it gives you a better, wider perspective at least?
Definitely. I felt on a shortboard when you do a turn, especially a carve, it's over so quick. You almost think about it and then you do it, and then after you go, oh, that was sick. Whereas on that, I almost felt like I could start to do the carve and I'd still be thinking about it, and then I'll go, oh, I'm gonna like push the fins right at the end, and I could think about the whole process going through it.
Yeah.
Whereas the shortboard, I think it just happens so quickly. On that, I felt like I could think about it the whole time I was doing it.
That's interesting. I always say to people, if you surf like a longer rail line board as a good surfer, it's a little bit like if you play snooker for a day and then go and play pool, and then pool just feels easy.
Yeah.
And then what about the little nuggie? Because I've seen
the nuggie.
Yeah.
That's like quickly becoming one of the favourite boards I've had. I think, especially for around here and the waves we've had in the last week.
Yeah.
It's been really fun and like a couple pumping days. I think just it was like shoulder high North Watergate.
Saturday evening.
The evening when you got down a bit later. I had such a good surf on it. Really been enjoying exploring with quads. The quads have been going really fun. And then the 2+1 as well. But yeah, quickly becoming my favourite board.
I mean, I think for the most part in the UK, if you take this last 2 weeks as an example, that was the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, we get good days. We do get good days. But that session...
That was one of the good days, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, it can get a bit bigger, but then I don't think it's lined up.
That is like, yeah, exactly.
That was like prime North Coast size.
It was just perfect. It was so fun. And still could surf a little nuggie and just do big airs and like send it on the fins.
I didn't feel like I was undergunned at all.
No.
Like, it felt like it held. And then it also went on waves like that high.
That's the boards that everyone should be on, and then they should be on shortboards when it's about honing everything in. And I feel like if you train on shortboards, it doesn't make you better on shortboards in England.
Yeah, it can just get so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be surfing that the most, especially this summer. And also I found it interesting the amount of comments I got. Like, I haven't posted any surfing clips on it yet, but just the pictures on my story of the board and seeing people at the beach, the amount of people that saw it and wanted to have a proper look, they were like, fuck, that looks really fun.
Yeah, because...
And I think it's just the shape of it looks sick.
It's a crossover board. So I've got all my mates being like, oh, what's that board? Oh, I'm going to get that. And then like you're surfing it, Logan surfing it.
Yeah.
Got one for deals. Whether if I can get him off the golf course and into the sea.
Yeah, that would be sick to see actually.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how everybody surfs it differently.
Do you know low-key, Deals is sick on quads? He rips on quads. Absolutely rips. He really gets them.
Yeah, I'm starting to love it in a quad. I mean, the first few surfs was the first time I've ever surfed a quad properly doing turns, and it felt sick.
It's a whole new world. Twins and quads, for me, for fun in the UK, take my money. Those fins will give you a bit more speed in our waves.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel the momentum it picks up. It's like...
Yeah. Right, well, we'll leave it there. Weekly board meeting, unless you can give us a better name.
Well, we're going to try post every Tuesday.
Yeah, we're going to do one of these every Tuesday. It will range from us talking about new boards to our experiences to maybe guests coming in and chatting, what we're going to review on the channel for the week. Just going to keep it more interactive, post up more. We're feeling a community coming around us, and it's really, really fun and interesting to see, and we enjoy that side of things. We know there's a lot of waffle out there, especially when it comes to surfboards and surf culture in general. We're the core of it all. We're actually making surfboards. We're actually surfing every day. Kind of want to share that with you just on a bigger platform, and that helps. And you don't buy a rubbish board from China, then we're stoked.
We mentioned the Friday episodes as well, because that'll be coming up this week.
So we've got a couple of new series coming out. On Fridays, we're starting a board building series. I am going to get on the tools. I'm going to take you through the process, start to finish, on making a surfboard. If that picks up traction and you guys enjoy watching the intricacies of making surfboards, then we'll continue it with different parts of buildings, all sorts of stuff. We've got lots of stuff in store, but they're going to come out every Friday, so watch this space on Fridays for that. I'll mention it very briefly because it's not official, but we have been talking about a new brand. Explore the beginnings of that brand with you via YouTube, and that is so exciting for me. I can't wait for this. A huge project that I've just been absolutely buzzing on for ages. It's gonna turn things on its head a little bit. I do genuinely think it will be a global success. That will also be on our channel coming very soon, so watch this space. Until then, you're getting surf product reviews. Leave a comment, tell us what you want us to review. Board reviews on new models and updates from us as we surf them. Weekly board meeting, which is just us chatting rubbish on this table with loads of different people about loads of different things. And then how to build a surfboard. What are we calling that one?
I think how to build a surfboard for the search engine.
How to build a surfboard.
I think
for
it has
the search
to
engine.
Yeah.
So you can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Until then, J-Man, see us out. Come on, say bye everybody. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone.